Hello, 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 everyone. Award-winning, just amazing actress and screenwriter. Her name is Tamu Favorite, and I hope that she is still around because we are running a little bit behind time. And everyone who knows about lives, it's a shuffleball change. So
Good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is from a play called Mothers of the Movement. And I was inspired by all the cries of the mothers in our country. So even though this was written last summer, I think it's very fitting right now. So I'm just going to share one of these characters from that play. Hello, I'm Merle Everest Williams. We are here today because we are standing on the shoulders of remarkable women. It is an honor to be celebrated with them today, especially Coretta and Betty, whom I had a very special relationship. Publicly, we were known as the widows of Medgar, Malcolm, and Martin. Privately, we were striving to be the best mothers we could while raising children without their fathers. By the grace of God, I am the last one standing. Now, I grew up in a family of educators. My grandmother retired from teaching to raise me because she thought my mother was too young. My aunt taught me piano, and I fell in love with classical music. In the fall of 1948, I attended Alcorn College, where I majored in education and minored in music. My first day on campus, I met well-spoken World War II veteran, business student, Medgar Evers. Now, we enjoyed ourselves as college students and eventually married. And when I got pregnant, my grandmother said, "You will never finish college." We were determined to prove her wrong. By 1954, Medgar became the first NAACP secretary in Mississippi. I helped him try to desegregate the schools, public buildings, and to secure voting rights for all citizens. On June 12, 1963, I was sitting on the bed with our baby when the shot rang out. The other two children crawled on the floor to get to the bathtub. Their father had trained them to go to the safest place in the house. I went outside, and Medgar was lying on the cold concrete. He was shot as he simply got out of his car in front of our home. I rushed him to the hospital, where he died 45 minutes later. He was 38 years old. I once told Medgar, "I can't make it without you. I can't live without you." And there was silence. He held me tight. I didn't believe it, but I had to be strong for our children. I spent 30 years trying to get justice for Medgar. Many of my friends and family said, "Give it up, move on." But my fight for Medgar was a fight for me too. We moved to California. I studied at Claremont College, where I received a bachelor's degree in sociology. I also met longshoreman, civil rights union activist Walter Williams, and we were married in 1969. I think God was saying, "Merle, you have to be on a college campus in order to meet a husband." Something to think about, ladies. I wrote a book about Medgar, which was made into a movie. I ran for U.S. Congress twice. I didn't win, but I continued to serve and pursue justice for Medgar. On February 5th, 1994, a racially diverse Mississippi jury found Baron de la Beckwith guilty of the murder of my husband. After 30 years, I was finally free. 30 years. Duty beckons me, I am strong. Test me and you will see. That was my campaign slogan when I ran for the position of chair at the NAACP in 1995. I won. I won by 1 vote. Oh, it matters. So get out there and vote. I am proud to say that I am 87 years old. And yes, I'm still standing, even though I use a cane. I wonder if this cane is for balance or to hit a certain someone over the head. I don't want to say their name out of respect for this church. I remember Megger saying to me, "This is your country. What are you going to do about it?" So I'm saying to you as well, this is your country. What are you going to do about it? Mm. Mm. I'm tired. I want a break. I want peace and comfort. Mm. And then there's that little voice that says, what about the children? If we don't infuse them with the knowledge of our past and guide them forward, what will become of them? I think about the women we are celebrating today. They were tired, but they never stopped caring. They never stopped fighting, and neither can we. We all have to listen to that little voice that says, here I am, Lord. Send me. Thank you very much.
Wow. Oh that is like, oh, it was so amazing. It was so real, and it was like, it calls us to like, what are we gonna do?
Absolutely.
That's what it did. Oh my gosh! Did you? I'm sorry. I can almost like not talk right now, but
okay.
Did you write that, or you wrote that, right?
Yes, I wrote this scene play called Mothers of the Movement. But I wrote my particular scene, and Michael Green, who directed the program, it celebrated mothers like Fannie Lou Hamer, Coretta, and also Betty Shabazz, and
wow,
many mothers from the civil rights movement that they celebrated. It was really fascinating. And this, of course, is Myrlie Evers. And Myrlie's life, I actually didn't want to play Myrlie. I wanted to play Fannie Lou Hamer, but he said, oh, you're too skinny for that. But anyway, I fell in love with Myrlie. And she's so sophisticated, her honor. And just listen, she is the only one in the play that he executed. She was the only one that's still alive. All the other mothers with us. So it was a fascinating experience, and I love it when I could speak my truth through my work. So, yeah.
Wow. Now, how did you, and someone said, great job, great job.
Thank you.
It was a great job. I couldn't, I was like, I just need to go sit down. And I don't even smoke, but I felt like I needed a cigarette. But, how did you, where did you go? Like, how did you come up with writing that? Like, how?
Right. I watch a lot of her videos because, 63, it's not that far. Well, it is, but bottom line is there's lots of videos, tapes of her. You could hear her voice, you could hear how she speaks, and what she actually would say or would not say. And she's so doing that and reading about her. And it's more challenging when you play a character from like Ida B. Wells. There's no voice. That is written material, so it makes it easier to do it that way. And it's so like looking at what's happening now, so many mothers got it as far as what we are going through here in America, because as we all know, Mr. Floyd was crying out for his mother. And so I'm inspired that I get a chance to reawaken that piece in order to serve in this way.
I love that. I think it totally, because when you were reading and the words that you were saying, they were coming from my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I mean, my little piece of life is just like, doing this is just a start, just to introduce artists to the public. But I know that there's much more.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's great when artists can actually do their art to serve,
Yes,
because
yes,
it gives you a bigger voice. We can march. Marching is great.
yes,
I march, but I also want to be able to use my talents in a way where I can serve the community as well. So I commend
exactly.
for having
Yes,
a platform where people can do that. And
yes,
then also letting people to know that we are Americans, you know. So it's like we have our struggles, we have other struggles on top of these racial struggles. So we have to find a balance. So yeah,
exactly. We got to
right.
find a balance. We're like,
Exactly.
okay, we can
Exactly.
march. All right, that's good. But, and I appreciate the people who are marching
Yeah.
because it does make a physical, like people can see that. That's something about that. It's very physical. You're
Right.
there, and that imprints in your mind like, oh,
Exactly.
we really have messed this up. Let's see how we can fix this. So I do
Absolutely.
appreciate that. But I think what you did, you just took us home. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tamu Favorite. She is an amazing screenplay writer, and she just wrote this amazing monologue for the play. And did they ask you to write it, or did you just
Yes,
say,
you know, actually, Michael Green did ask me to choose one of the women to play, and like I said, I chose Fanny, but he said no. So I'm glad I chose this one, and he chose me also for it. So we were kind of figuring it out together because it was
yes,
12 different women that was celebrated.
12,
Yeah,
really?
12, yes, and
Wow.
yeah, it was really amazing just to see, and also to see them walk across the stage, you know, at the end was amazing, and being one of them. And so it was really, yeah,
Wow.
women have done so much. Of course, we celebrate our men, but without the strong women, you know, I know I live alone and I could use a strong man right now. Yes, I'm like, oh, yes, hey, is he fine? You doing everything right?